Hello everyone. So today's content is not on gardening. It is going to be on gray hair. So I hope you will continue to watch. So today I would like to share with you what life has been like with gray hair. Also share with you the pros and cons of having gray hair. Now, this video is not about telling you that you should dye your hair, that you should go gray. It's not any of that. But I do hope that this video will help to answer some of your questions that you may have, especially if you're thinking about going gray for a while now and you're not sure whether if it's the right decision or not. So to start off, I would like to say that it has been 10 years now since I let my natural hair grow out. And I have to say that it was the best hair decision that I've ever made. And I have not regretted it. So that is a good thing. Let's talk about the pros first. The first pro is that I don't have to deal with chemicals anymore since letting the natural hair grow out. So before, when I was dyeing, I would dye my hair when it was time to dye in the evening so I could sleep off the nausea, the headaches, and all that stuff, all the bad stuff that came with it. And I'm so glad that I don't have to deal with that anymore. The next pro is that I get way more compliments on my natural gray hair versus when my hair was dyed versus when I did not have gray hair yet. So imagine that. And these compliments came from people in real life, we're not counting social media. I could say one one particular time when I dyed my hair really black, and I got a compliment on that because it was nice and silky and shiny. But other than that, I honestly cannot remember when I got compliments on my hair when it wasn't gray yet and on my dyed hair. The last pro is that gray hair is more normalized now. So when I first started my journey, it was rare for me to see somebody else with gray hair besides me with my demarcation line. So now whenever I go out, I always see people with gray hair like left and right. It's so amazing to see that. So it means that it's not rare anymore. It's normal to see people with gray hair, to see people transitioning their hair to gray. And now let's talk about the cons of having gray hair. So I should have mentioned earlier, when I mention gray hair, I am referring to the white strands of my hair. The white strands right there. So the first con is that gray hair, or my white hair here, is very noticeable. And having the gray hair look noticeable is not a bad thing. It's only when it's in certain areas and when it's a certain length. For example, I'll have little white strands of hair around here, around my temple area, and they get very coarse. They are very thick, and sometimes they're kind of curly and they just stick straight up. They're not laying flat. They're not like nice and soft looking. Like you can see one right there, it just sticks straight up. So here, not an issue, it's just right here, and it actually drives me crazy sometimes seeing it sticking or seeing them sticking out, and they're untamable. Now I know there are products out there that could help. I have used certain products in the past, but they didn't really help the strands as much because I have thick strands. Even with the dark strands, they're thick too, but they're not as noticeable as the white strands. They show up more when the hair is still moist. So I just washed my hair earlier this morning, so I would have to wait maybe at least 12 hours or so for all the hairs, all the strands to lay flat, and also for them to be, I would say, to be nice and soft versus, versus them being coarse. And depending on the weather, sometimes it's worse. So right now, I could still see there's some frizz all around because the weather is not too nice right now. So if any bad thing that I can say about having gray hair is these untamed strands that I have going on over here. So just know if you see me with those, just know that I cannot stand them either. So a trick that you can do to kind of help with the situation here that I just explained would be to just part your hair the other way like this. You have volume right there, so it creates that nice high volume right there, so that way those strands don't look out of place, so to speak. So the second con, which I think a lot of people can relate, is the fact that although there are more people going gray now, there are still a lot of people out there who think that gray hair makes a person look older. In fact, one of my son's friends thought I was my son's grandmother. Weird, right? So just know that's what you're going to have to expect when you choose to go gray. Some people still have that stereotype that gray hair equals old. And I have already prepped my son to just go with the flow. For example, if his friend were to say, "Is that your grandmother?" I will be okay for him to say, "Yeah, that's my grandmother." So I've already made myself be prepared for that I will be okay whether they think I am his grandmother or his mother. And now we come to the last con, and that is gray hair requires some kind of upkeep. What that means is that you really have to make your gray hair not look out of place, because otherwise it just makes you look, I don't know, like frumpy and disheveled. I refer to myself as looking like a bag lady if my gray hair is just all messy. In my opinion, gray hair needs to be kept nice and neat. If I have like some strands like out of place or something like this, or when it's all frizzy right here, it's just like something like this. Let me try to make it. It just looks awful, especially when you have gray hair, because it could be a combination of things. It could be because my skin is not as youthful as it used to be. My face shape, it could be the way that I'm built. It's just been my experience. I just need to have nice clean lines to my clothes, my hair. And for example, sometimes when I have my hair up and I have things like this going on, something like that, now that I'm talking with you about it, it doesn't look as bad. But just imagine when these just get all moist and sweaty and all that, might not look as good. So I tend to tuck it, just have it like this, and have the hair go behind my ears. Will tend to give me a nice cleaner look, like that. But just know when you are watching the gardening videos, when you see, when my hair is out of place or whatever, everything tends to not look their best, meaning the hair and the face do not look their best. So even though I mentioned all those cons to you, do I still think I made the best hair decision for me? The answer is yes. Hands down, I prefer my gray hair over dye hair any day. If you're watching this and you're thinking of going gray, I hope I have answered a lot of your questions. If I have not, just know that gray hair is not for everybody, and sometimes it just needs to be at the right time, right place for you to just say, that's it, I don't want to dye my hair anymore. Just like in my situation, it was at the right time, right place scenario for me to say, that's it. I just can't do this anymore. I can't just keep dyeing my hair. Just know that you will know when your right time is here. And after that, you're not going to look back. All right, I think that is enough hair content for today. If you have any questions and if you would like for me to cover another hair topic, please let me know in the comment section down below. Well, with that, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. And until the next one, take care and bye for now. Well, thank you again for watching the video. If you would like to support my channel, please subscribe and watch some of the other videos. The video links are up above for you. So with that, thank you so much in advance. Take care and bye for now.